Good evening. Hope you had a wonderful day. We are in the fourth chapter of First Thessalonians. And, before we come on here, like I said, we have our personal devotion, and pretty much the same scripture impacted both of us. And it has to do with handling your business, right? And focusing. Can you read your commentary, First Thessalonians 4:11? My version of the Bible, King James Version, says that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. I'm going to go first. So you hear in the media today, and you didn't hear this, Timotheus, but Wendy Williams, this is just all in the media. She I guess, went ahead of the media reports because, for months she's been, sick and out and on leave. And then she came back and, going through a lot of medical issues. And before, I think it was her thyroid. But anyway, she confessed today that she's been living in a sober house. So as soon as she tapes her show, records her show on live, for the world, she goes back to this show because she used to be hooked on cocaine and drugs, or crack, one of them. But anyway, it's really sad because it shows that, anyone is exempt and only God can supply that void in our heart, especially if you're going through a lot of, trials and tribulations, and drugs won't fill that. So the addictions have taken over. So the reason why I took this scripture to heart was that sometimes, how she, would have like the celebrity gossip and talk about other people's lives. And if your life is not, really intact, how can you really talk about other people? So sometimes you just got to study, shut it, study to be quiet. And a verse that came to me, Proverbs 13:3. And like I said, there are a lot of talk shows where you just talk a lot. But sometimes you can have a spirit of quietness and still use your platform. And 13:3 of Proverbs says, he or she that keepeth their mouth keepeth their life. But when you open wide your lips, destruction sometimes comes upon you because you're talking too much, or death and life is in the power of the tongue. You say some crazy stuff, or you say things that, are hurtful, and it comes back to you. And so, or it reveals what's in the heart. So many scriptures in the Bible talks about studying to be quiet. A meek and quiet spirit is of a great value, right, for women and for men too. And that's in 1 Peter, I believe, 3:4. So also, while we're being quiet, let's just take care of our business, right? And I think Romans 13:11 talks about handling our business, right? Or is that 12:11? Yeah, not to be slothful in business, but fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Okay, you had a different take on that verse of 1 Thessalonians 4:11. You take it away.
Did you say it already? Like what it said?
Well, yeah, but your version. You could say your version.
Also, make it your goal to live quietly, do your work, and earn your living as we ordered you. That's basically saying, like, when people start to live their life with the wrong purpose, when they get carried away with, like, money and, like, worldly success. And if we live quietly, then we can enjoy our lives, like, and earnings without flaunting it and, like, trying to show off for people. Because when you start doing that, then you basically just making your living for them. And, like, just you relying on them, like, for your, like, to just brag about, like, you're not making it for yourself.
Right. So you're trying to get the applause and approval of men. And that was like, from a previous chapter. Instead of our applause and approval and our audience is only God. So, yeah, the world can trap us, right? And it'll trap especially celebrities. So we're praying for these people who are, caught up in these scandals, the admission scandals, and all across the world. It's just so much. So what is the message this evening? let us take care of our business. We got a lot to do. God has assignments for each one of us. He wants us to be focused on his will. He wants us to pray horizontally for people who have, well-known names. And he wants us to make sure that we don't get caught up in the materialism, right? The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life. All that's in the world. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. No, we are to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. Okay, I guess that's it, right? And we're commanded to work hard with our own hands. Amen. So hope you all have a good evening, enjoying the fruit of your labor, and know that God is faithful and he is the only one to please. Good evening.